Why did you build the menorah?
We're Jewish!
It's a freaking crystal. It's a crystal!
Okay, so the premise of the design last year was, well, the point was to just get it done. Like, that was, like, our first goal. Like, we really didn't design too much from the beginning, other than, like, okay, like, here's what we need to make this work. We decided to go with fog because, like, how else are you going to see a laser? And
the design embellishments just came about, like, by the seat of our pants.
Yeah.
As soon as we finished a part, we were like, how do we make this look good? Okay,
Yeah.
let's paint it chrome. And
we wanted to take this age-old tradition and bring it into the new age.
I feel like the point of ritual is to connect with something bigger than yours, but I feel like that makes it all the more meaningful for me if I can put a little bit of myself into it.
It's important to keep the old stuff, but also embrace the new as well, and that's why we wanted to make it look like a robot. We did not think about, oh, if we put this outside in the public, what are other people going to think? So the cops showed up. I remember this exactly. I was in your office playing with a toy helicopter. I'm just like sitting there like a little kid, like cross-legged, and suddenly there's a knock at the door. You were in the shower. And I get up and I answer the door and it's the cops. I'm like,
Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
Does Ethan live here?
can I help you? And they asked about, they were like, did you have a big menorah in your yard? And I was like, my stomach dropped because I was sure that we had crashed a plane. Like, I was positive. I'm like, oh my God, we were in so much trouble. Like, I was so scared. Ethan! I went and I knocked on the door of the bathroom.
How can I help you? I'm in the shower. And I hear Caroline's like yell through the door, Ethan, the cops are here and they want to talk to you.
Aww.
Police scared the out of me.
I like walked back and then he comes out in just a bath towel.
Are you Ethan?
That's me. So, like, men wearing guns, asking very vague, leading questions.
Yeah, very
Came
vague.
to my door.
Why'd you build the menorah?
Why does it matter? Did you ask for a warrant?
Well, we're Jewish. We made it for Hanukkah.
And like they didn't want to see it.
Right.
They just kept asking, like, so tell us about it.
Tell us why you built the menorah.
Other people have Christmas decorations. We had a Hanukkah decoration. What's the problem?
So at some point they explained that somebody called in some kind of complaint. Wouldn't tell us what the complaint was.
No.
We thought that one of our neighbors was an anti-Semite.
So then Ethan like super got on the defensive.
Wait, what? We're Jewish. You're anti-Semitic, right? What? You like for the cost of one phone call, you can send men with guns to people's doors?
Oh.
What is this police state we live in?
Like ready to fight.
Yeah.
In a
it's
bath
like,
towel. Come on, go. Just come on, go.
This is not okay.
Go. Put on.
Fascist.
The experience was terrible.
It
Like
was
we were still scarred to this day. But then the crazy part, when we actually found out that someone thought it looked like an oven, that was like weirdly through email, right?
Yeah, I received an email. I was at dinner for my birthday.
It's your birthday.
The email actually described, for once, the nature of the complaint. They thought that our menorah looked like an oven. I left my body.
Yeah.
At my birthday dinner.
We gave someone a heart attack. Like some probably sweet old woman like gave. It was awful. We felt terrible. And of course we see it now, you know, like we looked back at some of the footage and we're like, oh God, actually, yeah, it kind of does look like an oven and I could see that, but it was so far from what we were intending. This year, we debated whether or not we were going to do it at all because we were so traumatized, as we mentioned. We decided that we're doing it. We just need to change our design. So basically, we were like, all right, what looked like an oven? That's got to go. No fog. No e-waste.
So one of the things that you and I love a lot, like dystopian future stuff, and like dystopia is just not a thing that we can touch in this context.
Dystopia's out. So what do we go for? futurism, right? We wanted futurism. We wanted like elegant, sleek space travel. That's what we're going for here. I started like doing some designs, started doing some drawing. I couldn't decide on anything. I was like drawing all these pictures and being like, well, that looks like smokestacks and that looks like a pyramid and they enslaved the Jews and like all this stuff. And like I couldn't decide on anything. And we were
At some point,
totally
we rejected the whole concept of right angles because if you squint hard enough at right angles, it kind of might look like a swastika.
right. We're at our wits' end. Also, we wanted to change the way it worked because the microscope slides were.
They were very temperamental.
Yes, it was.
Anytime you nudged the menorah, you had to realign all of the little slides.
Yeah, it was a nightmare. We got some materials, and Ethan just started going for it.
So we decided to go with prisms instead. So we ordered some off the internet. The good thing about those prisms is it's always going to refract exactly 90 degrees upwards. So let's actually talk about some laser science. A laser is basically a tube of photons traveling at about the speed of light through air. It's helpful to think about it sort of like a little tractor with wheels on either side of it, traveling at a constant speed in one direction. Now those little photons are traveling through their tube at the speed of light and they hit something, say a prism. And in this case, in the glass prism, it's going to go in two directions. In one way, it is going to reflect off of the surface and go straight up at a 90-degree angle. And in the other instance, it is going to go through the prism, slowing down. And so it's like one wheel of the tractor is hitting first. And so it slows it down on that side, and that actually makes the beam turn at an angle. The beam then reflects off the bottom of the prism, bouncing back up, and then finally, that little tractor, once its first wheel hits the outside air, it speeds up again and sends it back going in the exact original direction that it came in. That's exactly what we want to happen for our laser menorah, 9 times. But we still had the issue of how are you actually going to see this laser without particulates in the air? So I thought, well, what if you skim the laser off the edge of something like a long tube? So I found these clear tubes at the hardware store, and then we just put some receipt paper along the back of them for the laser to reflect off of. But there was still kind of an issue because we would still have to do a lot of really finicky lining up to get that laser just right. So Ethan had the bright idea of putting a cylindrical lens in with the prism. Cylindrical prisms refract the laser light sort of as a sheet, which is really great for projecting along the wall.
Okay, so the portion, about 5% of the original beam that gets reflected upward, passes through this hollow glass test tube, and that kind of acts as a cylindrical lens to turn the single vertical column beam into kind of a line. It's like spread out over an angle in this direction to kind of project over the inside of the tube.
We had our new design, we just needed to get it set up. And once we did, we looked at it and we said, oh my god, it's beautiful.
We made the optics visible in this revision. We think that everyone will
Yeah.
appreciate our
Yeah.
scientific, Judeo-futuristic utopian.
We ended up actually just mounting it to the wall in our living room because it was so pretty and also because it was raining out. So I guess all of that making it safe for the public for nothing. Oh yeah, and also
5-watt laser.
Hooray.
We got more power this year.
They're not illegal to buy or use, they're just illegal to sell.
You gotta say we're Jewish.
We're Jewish!
One more time. Why did you build?
Can I help you?
They think it's a Holocaust reference and that the menorah is some kind of anti-Semitic statement. So
That's ridiculous. They're anti-Semites. You're anti- No, this isn't what happened.
Why did